Imagine you are developing a banking system where you need to manage thousands of customer accounts. Without classes and objects, you will need to store each account's details, such as account number, account holder's name, and the balance in separate variables. So, for example, if you see here, we have we have stored this in different variables. This is account number one's account number. They have then the account one's balance and the account holder's name. Similarly, I have another variable to store the account two's account number, account two's balance, and the account two holder's name. So imagine if you had 100 customers, then you would need to have 300 variables, and you would also need to perform operations like depositing or withdrawing the money, and you will have to write functions to manually track all these variables and which variable belongs to which account and all that. So this can become really messy and hard to maintain. This is where classes and objects come into the picture. Then they allow you to bundle related data, which are called attributes. So the data are called attributes, and actions like withdrawal or deposit. These are the actions that you can perform on these attributes. So they allow you a class and object, they allow you to bundle this data and attribute data and actions into a single organized structure. So a bank account is nothing but an entity. It's a single real world entity, and therefore it needs to be represented as a single entity. So in Kotlin, we have something called classes. A class is a blueprint that defines the structure and behavior of a real world entity. So take, for example, a bank account class. This has a structure and behavior. So what we call as attributes or data, these are the attributes and data of the bank account class. The account number, the account holder, and the balance. These are the attributes of the bank account class. Similarly, what are the actions that can be performed on the bank account class? You can do, you can deposit money into the bank account. So we have a function called deposit. You can withdraw money from the bank account. So you have a function called withdraw, and you can check the balance. So we have a function to check the balance. So these together, the attributes and the functions together, are used to represent a single entity called as a bank account. And therefore, this bank account can be declared as a class. So in Kotlin, you use the class keyword to declare a class. So class is just a template. It's like saying, if you want to model a bank account in your application, then you can use this template. And this template is going to describe what a bank account should look like, or rather, what are the data or the properties this bank account should have, and what operations can it can perform. So what are objects? So the object is an actual instance of a class. It's a real bank account with its own data. So for example, Alice account, maybe that's the name of the customer, and they may have some account number, some account name, and some balance. So Alice underscore account might be an object of the class bank account. Similarly, you could have other customers. So each customer will instantiate this bank account, and each customer can be represented as an instance of the bank account class. Let's go and create a class. We're not going to use these kind of individual variables to manage our bank account bank account. We are going to use a bank account class instead. So I'm not going to use these variables. So we can declare a class called a bank account. And here I'm going to declare the properties of the bank account. So I'm going to say private. So if you see here single inside this brackets, I have declared three properties for my bank account. So these are the properties that are going to represent my bank account, and these are the properties which will hold some data related to the bank account. And these properties are account number. I'm saying i'm saying it's of type string. The account holder, which is the name of the account holder, which will be again a string. And a balance, the account's balance, which is going to be of type double. And if you notice, I have initialized it to zero point 0.0. So what I'm doing here for balance is I'm giving a default value. So basically what it means is, if somebody is creating a bank account, they can have zero balance. They don't have to give some value for balance. Another thing to note here is the account number and account holder are declared as val. So they're not going to change. Once you create an account with a certain account number and with the account holder's name, then this is not going to change. So I've declared it as val. But the balance is going to change. So I've declared it as var. All these are declared as private. And what this means is these properties are not accessible outside this class bank account. That means only the functions inside the bank account class, like deposit, withdraw, and check balance, can alter the values of these, can change these properties. There is no need for these properties to be visible outside of the bank account class. So the use of private for account number, account holder, and balance is fundamental to encapsulation. It prevents the modification of these properties, forcing the interaction through the public methods. Okay, now we need to create the functions. So a user can deposit into the bank account. And so I'm going to declare a function called deposit, but the amount to be deposited has to be the parameter. So when this function is being called, I'm forcing the user to send an amount. So the user will have to send an amount which will be of type double. And what should I do? So I should simply increase the balance. I'm going to say balance plus equals amount. So what this will do is add the amount to the balance. So what we're doing here is we are adding the amount to the balance, and then we are printing the amount and the balance. And this, you see that here we are using something called string templates. That means we can use within the double quotes. The double quotes are used to represent, to print a string, but you also see that within the double quotes, if I use dollar, I can use this amount variable. I can print the amount and the balance variables. So you also see how I can access these properties inside the deposit function. I'm able to change these properties.